What is up, my friends? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing for you guys the newest additions to Rose Inc Beauty. I have here their cream bronzer and their new cream highlighters. So if you guys are interested in all of my thoughts, swatches, a demo, and of course some comparisons, then keep watching. And if this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Sophia, and this is my channel where we talk about all things beauty and luxury. I upload content every single week on all the newest luxury beauty releases. I also love fashion videos, favorites videos, tag videos, you name it. We have so much fun over here on my channel. So if you want to join the fam, click that subscribe button and hit the notification bell to hear about every time I upload a new video. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. It's a really great way to support my channel. Another great way to support my channel is just shopping through my affiliate links. I usually link everything that I mention in all of my videos down below, and many of my links are affiliate links, which means that when you shop through those links, I get a very small commission at no additional cost to you. And like I said, that's just a great way to support my channel. All right, friends, let's talk about these new products from Rose Inc. I know we have so many cream bronzers and cream blushes, just creams in general that are launching. And so I really wanted to review these products for you guys. Personally, I've really liked the products that I've tried from Rose Inc. And I know that you guys are really excited about these. So this review is for you guys, but also for me because I was curious as well. If you are watching this video and you are not familiar with Rose Inc., this is the brand that was started by Rosie Huntington-Whiteley. She is like a model, an influencer, a socialite of sorts. She started this brand. It's very natural beauty, clean beauty. Everything is vegan, cruelty-free. They are also considered clean at Sephora, so they are one of the Sephora clean beauty brands. So once again, the vibe, it's very like natural. There's a lot of neutrals. There's a lot of rosy, nudie tones. So if you are into that and you're into this kind of look, then you are in the right place. I'm gonna go through all of the basic product details, starting off with the cream bronzer. This is called the Solar Infusion Moisturizing Cream Bronzer. This retails for $36. I bought all of these products at Sephora with my own money. You can also purchase them on the Rose Inc Beauty website. This comes in 4 shades, and of course I have the lightest shade. This is in the shade Parrot Cay. I mispronounce it later in the video. I did look it up. I believe it's pronounced Parrot Cay, so forgive me guys, I'm an idiot. And on the Sephora website, it says that this is supposed to give us a natural finish. It says here it is a smoothing cream bronzer that instantly warms the complexion with a soft focused sun-kissed glow while reviving skin radiance. Another thing about Rose Inc Beauty is that no matter what they are launching, literally no matter what they are launching, they will always kind of do it with a skincare twist. They try to include ingredients that are good for the skin. That's very much a part of their marketing. And with this bronzer in particular, it says here on Sephora that this includes tourmaline and quartz, which illuminate without shimmer. It includes rose oil, which revitalizes dull skin for increased radiance. And lastly, it includes squalane, pure, sustainable, plant-derived moisturizer for weightless hydration. Next up, we have the Solar Radiance Hydrating Cream Highlighter. This retails for $30. This comes in 5 shades, and I have the shade Glancing, which is described as a rosy bronze. On Sephora, it says that this is a refillable highlighter and skin smoothing hybrid. This velvet soft formula illuminates the face while nourishing the skin. Once again, we've got nourishing skincare ingredients. If that's something that you're really into, I know a lot of you guys, you love clean beauty, you love things that have a little bit of a skincare element. When we're looking at the highlighter, it says here that this includes sea holly cells, which visibly plump skin surface, rose extract, which visibly brightens uneven skin tone, and also squalane again, which is a plant-derived moisturizer for weightless hydration. So those are all the basic details that you guys need to know about these products. What we're gonna do right now is a live demo. I'm gonna be showing you guys how I apply these products to my face, doing some swatches. Then I'm gonna do a couple of comparisons for you guys. You can get a sense of like how these colors and how the formula match up to other popular cream products in my collection. And then finally, I'm gonna share with you guys all of my final thoughts on these new products from Rose Inc. So let's get into it. All right, party people, I've got you up close. Let's test out this new cream bronzer and this new cream highlighter from Rose Inc. So right now I've only done part of my makeup. I have some foundation on my face. I did do my eye makeup and my brows, but I don't have any other kind of base makeup on my face. We're gonna be starting off with the bronzer. This is what the packaging looks like. Just kind of for reference, this is a lot bigger than the blushes, which are of course a lot smaller. The blushes open up like this, whereas the bronzer is like a twist off cap. So this is what it looks like. I have the lightest shade. This is called Parrot Cay, Parrot Cay, I'm not sure which way to pronounce it. You guys will correct me. I am filming in daylight, so this is the color that we're getting. It's a pretty light color. It's also fairly golden, you can see. And the first thing that I notice is that this is a really smooth and lightweight texture. I would say that it definitely feels a lot more lightweight and kind of glidey compared to the blushes. That would be the best way for me to describe this. And you guys are gonna see that the highlighter actually has a very, very similar texture. So I've just been swatching it here on my hand. You guys can see what the color looks like. We're gonna do some comparisons in just a second, but we're first going to apply this to my face. But I just wanna kind of show you guys what that looks like when I blend it out on my hand. Very natural and very golden. So let's give this a shot. I'm just gonna push my hair back here. I really need some bronzer. I look so pasty right now. I'm gonna start off with this Clinique dual fiber brush, just kind of like a synthetic stippling brush. And we're gonna start bronzing on this side of the face. All right. I do like that texture. It did kind of disturb my foundation, and I don't know if that's because I'm wearing kind of like a lighter foundation. I'm wearing the Chanel Le Beige foundation. So let's just kind of give that a try. It's very natural, at least this shade is. So this is my bare face, and this is with just kind of like a little bit of that lightest shade. Let's try a different type of brush. I'm gonna be using the BK Beauty 105. This is the large buffing brush. This just has like denser bristles, and I wanna see if we get a different effect. This is just so lightweight and smooth. I think that this is going to be a better bet because the other one kind of dug into my foundation, and maybe because this is just so smooth, it might have disturbed the foundation underneath. This is a really beautiful golden color, but for light skin tones. I think it's really hard to find something that is both light, but also doesn't look too orange on pale skin tones, but I think I might like this. I also want to test this out with a sponge. We're going to do that on our forehead, so I'm just tapping that in there. Yeah, this is great with the sponge. I think you definitely get the most pigmentation with that BK Beauty brush, but if you are a sponge gal or guy, then I think you're going to enjoy this. So I'm just kind of stepping back so you guys can see what that is looking like. It is kind of removing some of the coverage that I had on my spots there. So I just want to point that out. I do have some breakouts. Okay, friends, so this is what we are looking at. This is a couple of layers of me just going back and forth. It is very natural. It's a very natural color. It's a light golden color. It's not neutral. I would not contour with this. I also do think that it sort of lifted my foundation just a little bit. It's not sticky. It feels really nice. It's very natural. I think maybe I just wouldn't wear this if I'm looking for a really full coverage day. I would wear this if I'm looking for something really light and effortless where your skin sort of shows through. I'll share more in my final thoughts once I have done a wear test of this, but those are my initial thoughts. I just want to show you guys what the finish looks like. It's not too dewy. It's not sticky. It's not thick. It's very lightweight, and it's a very natural golden bronze. You can kind of see up against my chest the tone that it then gives my face. Now I'm just gonna pop on a little bit of blush from Rose Inc. This is in the color Foxglove. I love this color, and I think it goes really well with my eyeshadow. This is the Quad Warm Memories by Chanel. I'm rocking a little Chanel today with my Rose Inc. And so I'm once again going to use a sponge, and I'm just gonna tap that over the bronzer to kind of see how it layers on. All right, so now we have a little bit of a flush to the cheeks. I think that really kind of brings everything together. I think with just the bronzer, it looks a little bit too golden, but once I add in the blush, it really pulls everything together. I love the Rose Inc blushes. I think that they're really, really beautiful. Now we're gonna be trying out the highlighter. So the packaging for the highlighter looks exactly like the blushes. I have the shade Glancing. It's kind of like a beautiful, maybe you would call this a rose gold, kind of like a nude. Let me swatch this for you guys. It's a very similar silky texture, just like we got from the bronzer. And look at that. Isn't that a beautiful color? So gorgeous. I'm gonna be tapping this on with my fingers. So let's go in and see what this looks like. So that's what it looks like upon first application. So that is what Glancing looks like. I really like the tone of this. They had a couple of different colors. I already noticed that the deepest color was sold out when I went to buy this. And put a little bit up here on the temples. It's super smooth, like it just glides onto the skin. Just like with the bronzer, I think that you do need to be careful not to like wipe it on because it's gonna wipe off everything that you have underneath, but it makes it really easy to just kind of tap it in, and maybe on the other side we will use that sponge. So I just put a little bit on my sponge right here, and we're gonna tap that in. If you're nervous about blending, you could do this, or you could go in with, you know, like a buffer brush, and that's what that looks like. Really, really pretty. I love the tone. These are super smooth. All right, friends, so this is the finished look. Once again, let me give you just an idea of what that looks like. I didn't even put on any contour, and I feel like that's looking really nice and really natural. Super glowy. This is the rose ink look. It's definitely on brand. Way to go. It looks beautiful. I'm very happy with it. Now what I want to do is compare both of these products with a couple of other cream products that I have in my collection. I know you guys are looking for this. And then we're going to do a little bit of a wear test, and I'll check in with you guys at the end of the day so I can sort of show you how this has worn, at least after a couple of hours. So I think one of the unique things about this bronzer is the color. It is noticeably lighter and golden, as I've mentioned already. I want to show you guys some comparisons here on the back of my hand. This right here is the Rose Ink bronzer that we just demoed. This is the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer in the shade Fair. You will notice that it is considerably more neutral. I guess you could call it cool toned, but it's not cool toned in general. It is neutral, and it's also a lot more matte. Next, we have the Nars cream bronzer in the shade Laguna. This is obviously a lot darker. It's a lot darker. I would also say that this formula, it's a little thicker and creamier. Then we have the Saie cream bronzer. I would also say that this is just like a little bit thicker and creamier than the Rose Ink. The colors are a little bit the same, but the one from Saie Beauty, this is the lightest shade, by the way, it does have a much pinkier tone than this one from Rose Ink. Lastly, I have the Chantecaille gel bronzer. I also think that this is just noticeably like peachier in tone. It really doesn't have the same tone. I think that the color of this is very unique. If you're somebody who is looking for a very light bronze that is also golden, then you are going to enjoy this. I really don't think any of these quite match up, if you are asking me. Now, I looked at all of the other bronzers in my collection and I asked myself, what does this look like? What does this look like? Let me show you what I think this looks like. I think this looks like the cream version of the Guerlain Terracotta Light in the shade Light Warm. So this is what this bronzer looks like. I did a review of these bronzers on my channel if you guys want to hear more about this. This is almost like the powder version. And let me show you right here. So this is the Rose Ink, and this is the Guerlain. So if you guys really enjoy those bronzers from Guerlain, or maybe you want something that is a little bit more affordable or in a cream version, etc., then you might really like this one from Rose Ink. I really like these Guerlain ones to kind of layer on top of bronzer as almost like a bronzy peachy blush, or if I just want a very natural look. I don't think that I would recommend taking this one from Rose Ink and layering it with other bronzers. I think it's just going to get really muddy and messy and maybe a little bit cakey. So I just wanted to point that out. If you are really a fan of this tone of the Guerlain bronzers, or you're looking for a dupe or a cream version, I think you're really gonna like the one from Rose Ink. All right, now let's do some comparisons with the highlighter in the shade Glancing. I do think this is gonna be one of the more popular shades. I wanna show you guys some comparisons right here. So this is Glancing from Rose Ink right at the top. This is Westman Atelier Peau de Pêche. I actually think that Glancing is a really great alternative. If Peau de Pêche was always like maybe a little bit too dark for you, I like using Peau de Pêche, but it's a little dark for me. Like I kind of use it almost as like a blush topper if I'm going for a little bit more of a tanned look. Next, I have the Pat McGrath highlighter stick in the shade Nude. This is like the Skin Fetish sticks. That is definitely a lot lighter. Next, I have the 3 Charlotte Tilbury highlighter wands. So I've got Peach Gasm, I've got Pillow Talk, and I've got Pillow Talk 2. I would say color-wise, this is closest to Pillow Talk. So right here I have Glancing, and right there I have Pillow Talk. That is the closest in color. If you already have this Pillow Talk highlighter, I don't really think you need this in the shade Glancing. In terms of the formula, I definitely think the Charlotte Tilbury wands, they have more of like a dry down, if that makes sense. They set down a little bit more, whereas this, it's a little bit more emollient. It's obviously clean beauty if you're more into that. If you like the Charlotte Tilbury highlighter ones and you want a very similar effect, maybe slightly slightly more subtle, then I think these highlighters from Rose Inc are gonna be really nice. In terms of the formula, I do think that these are rather similar to the Westman Atelier. I think if you were dithering on about whether or not to get Peau de Pêche or Peau de Rosé, or you couldn't find a good color, I would say give these ones from Rose Inc a try. I think that they are a very similar formula. They're gonna be cheaper than the Westman Atelier. I don't think the packaging is as luxurious, but I like the fact that we're getting more colors. We have a little bit more options there. I know that the Westman Atelier has 4 shades, but pretty much all of them are too dark for me, except like the Peau de Rosé, which I heard is also a little bit glittery. If you guys are maybe interested in the Westman Atelier, but you just can't pay that much for a highlighter, then I think I would check out these from Rose Inc. All right, friends, I hope that all of those comparisons in the demo was helpful. Now I'm just gonna wear this makeup throughout the day. I'm gonna check in with you probably a little bit later in the evening, let you know what all of my thoughts are, and then I'll sum up everything in my final thoughts. I'll see you then. Hey friends, it is the end of the day and it is dark outside, so the lighting in my living room is terrible. So I thought I would bring you into my bathroom so you guys can see how these products are wearing on my face. I really think that they look good. You can definitely see I have a bit of a glow. In general, I do have like some natural oils coming through. I was wearing kind of a glowy foundation, but I still think that my makeup looks quite nice. As I look in the mirror ahead of me, I can still see the products on my face. I think that they wear pretty well for cream products. I don't think that they are going to wear as well as like a powder highlighter or a powder bronzer or maybe a more matte cream bronzer, but I think for the type of formula that you're getting here, you're getting pretty good longevity. I just want to show you guys there wasn't any kind of like disaster. I didn't get super oily, anything like that. I think my face still looks really good at the end of the day. In fact, I got caught in the pouring rain earlier when I had to run an errand. So just wanted to show you guys what this is looking like at the end of the day. And now I'm going to share with you guys my final thoughts. All right, friends, I hope that that demo and those comparisons were helpful for you. Now it is time for my final thoughts. What do I think of these new products from Rose Inc? Let's start off with the bronzer and let's talk about the formula first. I think the most interesting about the formula of this bronzer is just how weightless and smooth it feels on the skin. And I do think that it's probably because of the squalane that they included in this formulation. Squalane is very lightweight, it's very moisturizing. It doesn't have an oily texture, but it does have a little bit of like a serum-y texture, if that makes sense. If you've ever used like a squalane serum, you guys will know what I'm talking about. And that's what I think gives this bronzer its very characteristic texture. And because of that texture, it's not going to be very sticky. It gives a really beautiful natural look to the skin. It didn't come across as too oily, at least on me. I felt like my skin just looked very natural, very glowy throughout the day. It didn't look greasy. It just looked very moisturized. My natural oils were kind of coming through a little bit. It was very nice. I really, really like this bronzer, if you guys can't tell. Now, what I think you need to keep in mind specifically with this bronzer is that it doesn't set down completely. It's not going to be like a powder bronzer, obviously, and it's not going to be super matte like the Charlotte Tilbury cream bronzer. It is very natural. So if you have an oilier skin type, this might not be the best for you. It also means that it's not going to be as pigmented. I don't think that it is as thick or as pigmented as, once again, the Charlotte Tilbury or even the new Nars cream bronzer or even the Saie cream bronzer. This is super lightweight. So while it is very lightweight and it looks very natural on the skin, it's not going to give you that super rich like hint of pigment that you get from some of those other bronzers, and it's not going to set down quite as much. I mentioned this before, but I think this is the kind of bronzer that I would be going for if I just want a really nice light natural kind of makeup day. You're pairing it with a very glowy foundation, maybe a skin tint, maybe a tinted moisturizer. This isn't the type of bronzer that I would reach for if I want like full beat baddie, full coverage, something more matte. That really isn't like the Rose Inc aesthetic, so I think that this matches up a lot with the other products that are in the brand's lineup. Now let's talk about the color of this bronzer. I was not sold at first. Like when I first swatched this, I thought, that's very warm. But after I applied it and I got the rest of my makeup on my face, and throughout the day when I kind of was just, catching myself in the mirror, checking it out, see how it looked, I thought it looked so pretty. I think it looks really, really natural. As I mentioned, I feel like this is the cream version of the Terracotta Light, something that is light, it's natural, but it has a really nice like peachy kind of golden tone that you might get from a blush. I think they did a really good job of creating something that is good for fair skin tones, but isn't too yellow. Like I don't look like an Oompa Loompa. I don't look like I have like a really bad spray tan or anything like that. I was looking at the other shades in the lineup and I definitely think I could wear the shade that is a little bit darker. That second color, the one that is called Kawaii, that one looks closer to the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer in the shade Fair, where it is a more neutral shade. So if you want something that is more neutral and it's gonna be just a little bit darker, if you're not super pale like me, I would recommend going for that shade. But if you want something that's just very natural, gives you a nice little bit of a peachy glow, then I think this one, the lightest shade, Parrot Cay, is gonna be great for you. All in all, I really like this bronzer. I don't have a shade like this in my collection at all. And I also think that the formula stands out because it's just so beautiful and natural and lightweight. Now let's talk about the highlighter. In terms of the formulation, I think that this formulation is much similar to the bronzer than to the blushes in the collection. I think that the blushes, the formula is a little bit thicker and more pigmented because it's a blush, because it's giving pigment and flush to the cheeks, whereas this, it's very smooth. You definitely get that kind of like squalane, lightweight type of feel, which means it is pretty slippy, it's pretty blendable. It didn't really disturb my base too much when I applied it. I thought it was really easy to just tap in with the fingers. I would love to hear what you guys think of this opinion, but I do think that this is a more affordable dupe for the Westman Atelier cream highlighters. I think that the formula is both very smooth, but you're getting more colors in this range. And I know I only have one of the colors, but this is a great match for my skin tone. As I mentioned, this is very much like the pillow talk of the line. It matches up really well with kind of those rosy, nudie tones that you typically get from Charlotte Tilbury. So if those are the shades that you really like, I think you're gonna enjoy this. If you were eyeing the Westman Atelier, but you just don't wanna shell out that much for a cream highlighter, totally, I get it. Or maybe the shade just wasn't right for you. You might wanna check out these new highlighters from Rose Inc. I think that they are a wonderful alternative. All right, friends, so those are all my thoughts about the newest products from Rose Inc. I really like both the bronzer and the highlighter. I think that they are gorgeous, but enough about what I think. What do you guys think? Sound off in the comments down below and let me know if you guys are gonna be picking this up. Do you think that the shades are nice? Do you think that this formula is unique if you've already tried it? Let's start a little convo in the comments. And if you are still watching this video and you have not subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? We have so much fun over here on my channel. I will also put my Instagram handle up here so that you guys can follow me over there. Instagram is the best place to kind of catch up with me on the reg, see what I'm up to. I'll let you guys know about all of these new beauty releases, when they drop, when they get restocked, when things go on sale. We have so much fun over there, so definitely head on over to Instagram and connect with me over there. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, guys. I hope that you are having a fantastic week, and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.